Hey guys, welcome back. This here is the second installment of Anything Goes Coronavirus Edition. Of course, I'm Raiden, and I'm at a socially comfortable distance, keeping away from everybody. And we've got a great show today, and I gotta say, this episode is going to be sick, if it's not bad to say that.
Uh, it might be. I'm Sam, and Raiden is absolutely right. This show is going to be something else. With all the new challenges that our producers are having to face to keep the show from totally derailing, it's all new, interesting content that is sure to keep you on the edge of your seat.
Man, I hope so. This quarantine has been so boring, just locked in my house for the past couple weeks. I need something to keep me entertained.
I feel you there. Well, let's keep the good times rolling and have the rockin' dudes over at Rosetta Tone kick things off with a brand new episode.
Hey everyone, welcome back to this week's episode of the Rosetta Tone, a show where we take the language of audio effects and apply them to different instruments. I'm Grayson, and today we're going to be working with a new, super interesting effect called downsampling. It's this sort of like glitchy type of sound effect where it takes the sound signal and makes it sound like almost like a old school 8-bit video game sort of thing. This effect is used primarily with synthesizers, so we're going to use a synthesizer today as our control sample, and then afterward we're going to take this effect and apply it to a guitar track. So let's see what we come up with. First, let's hear what the synthesizer sounds like without downsampling. Now let's hear what the effect does to the sound of the synthesizer. Now our faithful synthesizer master, Scott, will be controlling the amount of downsampling as he turns his knob here. This downsampling effect happens after it is digitized at a low resolution. Digital audio consists of tiny pieces of information called samples. A standard audio CD has 44,100 samples in 1 second. As you reduce the number of samples, you lose resolution and clarity. Think of it as like a clear picture becoming super pixelated. There are many diverse ways that you can use this effect across all types of music. But now we're going to get even weirder and see how it sounds coming through a guitar. But here's what the guitar sounds like without the effect. And here's what the guitar sounds like with the effect turned on. This is some pretty crazy sound effects that are coming through there. I would be really interested to hear what Slater and Scott can use together while they're working on that sort of stuff, and they decided to do a piece of music or whatever together. That's all we got today. Until next time, there's a whole lot of effects out there begging to be heard in ways that you've never heard before. That only happens here on the Rosetta Tone. Thanks for watching.
Wow, that was truly something special. Every week Rosetta Tone shows some really cool new stuff. And I don't know if you're into music, Sam, but that episode made me so impatient to go see another concert. I miss him so much. As soon as this whole thing blows over, I'm just running right into that mosh pit.
I hear you there, brother. You do you. Anyway, whatever you guys are doing out there, don't let these times slip by you. Every day is important. Try learning something new, like an instrument or knitting, or how about pickling?
I mean, pickling, as weird as it is, might be a pretty good skill. If everything goes all post-apocalyptic and all that, pickling is a good way to preserve food and help you survive longer, right?
That's pretty heavy, but yeah, that is true.
Speaking of heavy topics, me and the other fellows over at Murder in the Making, we are hitting you up with a new killer of the week every week, so let's see who we're taking a stab at this time. Alright, let's get into it. This week we are talking about
The Milwaukee Cannibal.
Jeffrey Dahmer.
Jeffrey. Pretty sure he is one of the most well-known serial killers.
He was a local serial killer and probably one of the more maniacal ones on this list, with 17 murders of young men and boys from 78 to 91.
For a while, Jeff was kind of a secluded kid. He didn't really have many friends at all, and people just blamed it on because, oh, his mother's in bed, she's sick and everything, but no. There was a little more to the surface than that.
He was fascinated with animal bones. He liked how they sound when they broke, fitting them together, and just messing with them and doing all these things. When he was 10 years old, he asked his father, who was a chemist, what would happen if he put chicken bones in bleach. Now, his father, he just thought that his son found a passion, and a scientific passion, which was exactly what he was into, so he was glad that his son was finally getting into something. And so he was happy to show his young son how to clean and preserve animal bones using bleach. Of course, his father couldn't foresee that these methods is what Dahmer would use later as an adult.
He collected bugs, roadkill, pretty much anything you could get his hands on that was kind of dead on the side of the road or something, and he preserved them in jars. He dismembered the animals. He wanted to know how they fit together, according to him.
In high school, Jeffrey was seen as a loner and a prankster. He would fake seizures in classrooms and generally just frighten a lot of his classmates. His alcoholism began right after he was a freshman, I believe. A lot of people have said that when he was a freshman, he was pretty normal, but as a senior, he was just a full alcoholic. He would always have beer or scotch and stuff like that he would keep in his locker.
He was a regular drinker. He would smuggle alcohol into school constantly. One kid even asked him why he was drinking a bottle of gin in the middle of class, and he said, "It's my medicine." So, definitely had something messed up right there.
The first time that he committed murder was actually just 3 weeks after he graduated. So, they give the big speech. They say, all right, now your whole life's ahead of you. You can do whatever you want. And about 3 weeks later, he kind of realized what he wanted to do, so to speak.
So, 3 weeks after his high school graduation, Jeffrey picked up a hitchhiker by the name of Stephen Hicks, who was on his way to a rock concert, and he drove them home for some beer and some talking, because they wanted to get to know each other. When Stephen wanted to leave, Jeffrey didn't want him to. So, he grabbed a 10-pound dumbbell and bludgeoned him on the head twice with it, knocking him out. And once he was unconscious, he just strangled him to finish the job.
He typically would lure these young men and boys to his house under the pretense of prostitution and sexual favors, and oftentimes just to keep them company.
Whenever he was caught, he was actually in the process of using the skulls of his victims to build an altar. He told police that whenever they caught him, that if they had waited 6 months later, they would have come across an altar. And he said that he was building it because it was a place where he could feel at home.
Jeffrey Dahmer's reign of terror ended in 1991. And in 1994, while in prison, he met his unfortunate demise by another inmate, beaten and bludgeoned similar to the way he killed his victims.
all I can really say about this Killer of the Week thing we've been doing, this isn't meant to idolize these people, and I know that Murder in the Making is all about is Reagan a killer? Is he not? Did he do this? It's just kind of a true crime kind of thing. Some of us like true crime. We like those podcasts. We like those shows. But in no way did we want to idolize or, in a way, like make cool murder. It is the just ending of someone's life, of their legacy, of their lineage, and it is just ripping that person out of their family's lives. So we in no way wanted it to be fun or cool, but just kind of reading and looking at these twisted people such as Bundy and Dahmer the past couple weeks, just really want to kind of get the message out there that we don't idolize them. I don't idolize them. No one here wants to be associated with them other than kind of keeping the show going in a hard time and putting out content. But it's just hard to read about,
Look, learning about these serial killers is cool and all, but, I got to thinking, what's going on with your case?
I'm honestly not super sure. With the whole virus thing that's going on, I think the investigation has kind of come to a halt.
So, you're just a free man even after all this evidence came forth?
Evidence, hearsay, it's kind of potato, but I'm sort of free. I mean, the cops are always outside of my place, kind of making sure I'm properly quarantining and stuff like that.
Well, are your roommates at least a little freaked out, or...?
Honestly, I don't think they are. I mean, believe it or not, there's bigger things to worry about right now. And hey, I'm not saying that I am, but if everything goes all post-apocalyptic, wouldn't it be good to have a killer on your side?
Whoa. Before you incriminate yourself any further, let's take a look at Anything Goes Live.
Welcome back, everyone. It's another episode of Anything Goes Live. Now, how's it going? As always, I'm your host, Raiden. Let's go ahead and get into it. Let's choose from the lucky crowd. You there. What would your name be? The shorter one. What's your name?
Oh, me? No, I'm Luis. Yeah. Hi there.
Luis. Hi, Luis. How's it going? And then the other man, the fuzzy-looking one.
What's Luke.
Luke, how's it going? All right.
It's going.
So, welcome, guys. Today we're playing Who Quoted. And we actually do have a third contestant today. It is you, the audience. So the way that this is going to work is we have Luis, Luke, and the audience. And I've got in front of me a list of the top most quoted moments in movies. I will basically read the quote. Now, if Luis shoots up his hand and he gets it right, he gets a point. If he shoots it up and gets it wrong, no point. Then Luke has a chance to steal. And if he shoots and gets it right, then he gets the point. Now, if neither of them can guess it, then you, the audience, will get a point. Yes, you can win. And unfortunately, you won't have the honor of beating me. That apparently is reserved only for Luke somehow. But we'll go ahead and get right into it then. You is kind. You is smart. You is important. Luke.
I'm going to go with the Green Mile.
The Green Mile. I'm sorry, Luke. That is, I see what you're going for, but not quite. Luis, chance to steal. Do we have anything?
Nope, I got nothing.
Nothing? You're not even going to shoot a shot just in case?
Not really.
Gotta shoot it.
All right, well then looks good for you, the audience. You do get the point, and it is The Help from 2011. The Help.
Never would have guessed that one.
Today, I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth.
I guess I'll shoot for American Wedding, because why not?
American Wedding. I'm sorry, that's not it. Luke, chance to steal.
I will go with The Hangover.
Hangover. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. So Luis said Wedding, and you both ran with it. It is actually The Pride of the Yankees from 1942.
Oh.
I won't fault you for that one. Now.
Yeah, great movie. Great movie.
Really? All right, then you should have known it.
How did I miss that? Yeah, how did I miss that? I've never seen it.
Yeah, you haven't? Okay.
I've never seen
Don't
it.
lie to the host, sir. All right, so now let's just keep on moving. And speaking of, the next quote: "Just keep swimming." Luis
Finding
first.
Nemo? Finding Nemo?
Correct, Luis. Well done.
There you go.
The next one: "I am your father." Luke, you got it. What's up, man?
Star Wars.
Which one?
The first one, but it's actually the... You know what I
So-
mean. Is it the Return of the Jedi?
You are all over the place, man. Luis, chance to steal.
Empire Strikes Back, the second one they ever made.
Ah!
Yes. So, Luke, you... Funny thing, the second one they ever made is the one that it was. You said the first one they ever made, but then you said the name of the third one they ever made.
Yeah, I don't watch those movies.
Keep your friends close, but your enemies closer.
Wow.
Keep your friends close, but your enemies closer.
Enemies closer. Why do I think Al Pacino's in this movie?
You might be right. Do you want to shoot the shot?
Is it a Bronx Tale?
I'm sorry. You were
Oh!
on track with Al Pacino. Luis, what do you got?
I'm gonna roll the Al Pacino and go for Scarface.
Oh, I'm sorry, guys.
Ah!
It was Godfather 2.
Godfather.
Ah!
Magic mirror on the wall. Who is the fairest one of all? Luis.
Snow White and Seven Dwarfs.
Snow White and Seven Dwarfs. Well done. The stuff that dreams are made of.
Okay, yeah, then definitely I have no guesses.
All right, so you both forfeit.
Yeah, we'll let the audience have this one.
And it is the Maltese Falcon. If you build it, he will come. Luke, what do you got?
Field of Dreams.
Well done, Luke. First point.
Yeah!
Life is a banquet, and most poor suckers are starving to death.
Ooh. I'm not gonna get this one. I'm gonna have to pass.
Luis?
I got nothing either.
All right. I'm going to mispronounce it, but it's Auntie Mama, Mamie? It's Auntie M-A-M-E. Everyone watching, including the instructors, are like, come on, you don't know this movie? You can't handle the truth. Luke,
A Few Good Men.
well done. E.T. Phone Home. Luke,
E.T.
well done. There's no crying in baseball. Luke, what do you got?
A League of Their Own.
Well done, Luke.
Okay.
Ooh.
Houston, we have a problem. Luke,
Oh shoot. Armageddon.
I'm sorry, not it. Luis, do you have anything to steal? Houston, we have a problem.
I'll just say Apollo 11 because why not?
I'm sorry, Luis. It's Apollo 13.
13. Great. Of course it is.
My precious. Luis,
Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring, and Two Towers as well.
this next one, I think I know who's going to get it. May the Force be with you. Luke,
Yeah.
Luke, give me a star. Give me a
I'm gonna say Return of the Jedi.
Return of the Jedi. Okay, let's see. Technically, this one has number 4 listed, but I'm pretty sure they say it in every Jedi. So, Return of the Jedi. The phrase "May the Force be with you" originated in Star Wars 4. All right, so we have the appearances, Phantom Menace, and has continued to be part of Star Wars. Several different animated series. Episode 3 of Revenge of the Sith. All right, Luke, it is. It is uttered in. Yeah, he did.
Catching up.
I tell you what, that is the number one famous quote, and that means that we're at the end of our list, boys.
So audience won.
Audience won.
Congratulations, audience! You first-time competitor have won.
Good
well
job,
done.
audience.
Good job.
Glad somebody could dethrone Luke, because I sure can't. as we kind of move forward with this whole quarantine thing and we try to figure out fun ideas to do while distance from each other, I mean, we'll see if we can kind of bring the audience in a little more, just kind of bring a little interactivity to it.
Yeah, for sure.
Audience at home, including Luis and Luke and everyone watching and everyone who's not watching, just in general, good luck to you guys. Stay safe. And like I said last week, just try to have some fun. Just kind of fool around and just take it easy. I mean, this right now, it doesn't feel like it, but think of this as a vacation, and then we'll just get back to life as we know it soon. So anyway, audience, have a good one. Luis, Luke, thanks for coming by, guys. You'll have a good one.
Anytime.
I'll see y'all next week.
See ya.
Whoa, that's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just glad I don't have to get shocked, hit with a pie, or eat any more peppers or anything like that. At least I don't think I need to.
Well, if anyone has to, it's definitely not going to be me. So.
Yeah, you did get lucky there. Should have gotten you while the getting was good. But anyway, to kind of show that we're all still connected in all these troubling times, we're doing a new segment. This is going to be like the meme of the week. So we'll go ahead and kind of play those now. So if you have any memes that you kind of think are funny, you can actually just comment a link down below the YouTube videos or the Facebook video if you're watching either one of those ways, and we'll take a look at them and maybe put them on next week. But anyway, hey Sam, with how the world's going lately, did the My City crew get to have any good eats this week?
Well, I didn't get to work on this week's episode, so it could be anything in the world. I don't know what's happening, but let's find out.
Last week on My City, Sam checked out Swamico, Wisconsin. This week, we head back up north and visit Peshtigo.
Join us on an adventure as we take you through a tour of the cities of northeast Wisconsin in My City.
Today we're in Peshtigo, Wisconsin, established in 1838.
In the early 1800s, two men built the first sawmill in Peshtigo, and from that day on, Peshtigo was closely identified as being prosperous in the lumber and the railroad industries. That is, until the Great Peshtigo Fire of 1871. Sparse rainfall, wildfires, and high winds made for a deadly disaster that swept not just through the town, but across the surrounding counties. At least 1,300 people lost their lives, and thousands more were left homeless. Peshtigo was virtually destroyed. Today, Peshtigoians and visitors honor the greatest fire in American history by attending the Peshtigo Fire Museum, Memorial Day weekend through October 8th. Well over a century later, Peshtigo is now a city rebuilt from its ashes. During this time of year, Peshtigo is usually bustling with bicyclists, kids playing outside, and eager walleye fishers. But due to the current state of our country, the city has been looking a bit desolate.
Here I am out at the Peshtigo Harbor. It's a very popular place where people launch their boats to go fishing or just play with their family on the bay.
That's all the time we have for today on My City. Tune in next week where we meet back up with Sam and Jeff and visit the town of Pulaski.
Man, I'm a huge history buff, and I always love learning about the cool little nuances of Wisconsin I didn't know before. But anyway, that's going to conclude this week's episode of Anything Goes Coronavirus Edition on TC Weekly Live. Thanks for watching, and make sure to tune in next week at 7 p.m. on Tuesday, and go follow our page on Facebook, which is capital T, capital C, capital W, Weekly. So TC Weekly.
I think you mean capital W Eekly, but if someone that you know missed this week's episode, be sure to go to the YouTube page, DMT NWTC, where all of our episodes are uploaded. Thanks for watching, and make sure you all stay safe and healthy, because after all, anything goes.
it.